All right, we're going live.
Okie dokie.
You're live.
Hello, hello, crafty friends. It's Pink and Rosy Day, and I'm just tickled pink to be here with you. Please note, Rosy pink on my shirt, just as promised.
You have the mute over there.
Hello, hello, crafty. Hello, Thelma, and Alice, and Daria, and Diane, and Kim. And who am I missing? Somebody might have disappeared. Hello, hello. Do I look rosy and well slept? I might look rosy. I don't know that I look well slept. Hi, Betty. Welcome, friends.
Keep going.
Hi, Elsie. We're going to have a great time today. We always have a great time, but these are beautiful cards. This is fun. You're going to have fun today. And we got 6 of them, but I started at the regular time because these are deco-large, and they tend to go together pretty fast. So Teddy's out getting his haircut. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Mary R. and Ellen. Good to see everybody. Teddy's getting his hair cut. Hopefully he will arrive before class is over and you can see him all groomed up. Uh-oh, your internet's acting up. I'm sorry. How's everybody? Everybody good? Let's see what's in our kit while we're waiting. We can, I guess, start tying and layering while we wait to see if others are going to join us. Thank you, Elsie. So, I have lots to show you for show and tell today. We have the rest of this kit made up now, so we've got that spaced out over the next couple of weeks, and I've been preparing for the bow class, so I have some new things to show you. You guys are going to want to come to the bow class, and you guys are going to want to try the little bowmaker. I have some new things to show you on the little bowmaker. I have sitting next to me my project from last night. I wish I could show it to you, but I'd mess up the computer equipment and my hubby would be unhappy with me. But I have a stack of ribbon down the table from me that is about that tall. It's a good foot from the base to the top. And it's about it is 3 feet wide because a lot of the ribbon is a yard long and a foot deep. I put together 75. Hello, Stephanie. I'm in the process of putting together 75 bowmaker kits because they take so long to do. I just decided to bite the bullet and just really make a bunch of them. So this one's going to be a little bit different than our red bowmaker kit because I omitted a lot of the heavier ribbon because the heavier ribbon doesn't work particularly well with these littler combs. But with this one, I added extra small ribbon, and we're going to talk about all kinds of things. So, yeah, that is a massive, massive stack of ribbon. I'm telling you, it is amazing. Like I said, I wish I could show it to you, but I would mess up Bryce's camera angle, and then I'd be in trouble. And I don't want to start my class in trouble. I get in trouble a lot anyway. I don't need to ask for trouble. So let's see what's in this kit today. We've got a beautiful piece of that gorgeous red blue woven iridescent ribbon. You guys know it's one of my favorites. If the card's going to be pink, there's a better than average pink, red, or any tone in between. There's better than average chance you're going to see that red blue ribbon because I just love it. We have this beautiful candy cardstock from Nouveau. I love this thing because it's got beautiful iridescent. It's not just pink glitter. It's got beautiful iridescent sparkle in it. Of course, we've got our foam squares. Got to have those. We've got several pieces of Miri. I was just looking at how many cards we did with Miri. I hope, oh, there are. I was going to say, I hope there's more Miri in here. There is. She just did them in 2 separate stacks inside the kit. So we've got 2 A6 and a 7x7 Miri. We've got a 5x7 card, an envelope. I'll put the envelopes off to the side for now. 2 A6 envelopes, 2 A6 cards. We've got our pinks card kit. This one is called In the Pink. And it's got the beautiful pink base sheet. We've got the beautiful pink layering. Whoops. And we've got this is just a fabulous piece. I love this base cardstock. We've included, as before with these, we've included an insert sheet. And we've got some more cards. We've got 2 5x7s and an envelope, and 2 envelopes, and an A6 and an envelope. We've got some of that really pretty, we've used this before, this red glittered paper. This one is actually out of my craft stash. It came from a paper book from Michael's, but it's really pretty. And we've got more mirror board. We've got the insert sheet for this kit, which is called a Rosy Posy. You thought my tickled pink to see you was over the top. A Rosy Posy is pretty close. Oh, let's see. And all right. And let's see. Here is the base cardstock. Here is the layering sheet. A little bonus piece of scrap card for me. And that's what's in our kit today. It's a pretty rich kit, actually, with all this glitter paper and all this mirror board. But they're pretty easy cards to put together. Which way do we want to start today? I don't think it really matters where we start. Huh? Probably with the bow. That is true. Yeah, Bryce is suggesting I tie my bow first. Let's do that because it's going to need some best glue ever. Okay, so let's get that tied. All right. Oh, is one of your friends sick, Mary R?
Yeah, one of her friends has COVID.
I'm sorry.
She lives in Connecticut.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Wow. So sorry. Hello, Kim and Katie and Kelly. Good to see you guys. Okay, we're going to go ahead and tie our bow. I'm going to make this a 4-5-4 on this little blue comb. On our big comb, it would be a 5-1-5. I'm going to go to peg number 4. The numbers are on the other side. Guess it doesn't really matter. 4 is the one that's 2 from the end. I'm going to go around number 4, but instead of going under it and then back over to the other side, I'm just going to pick up that one peg And then I'm going to come across here and I'm going to go over to number 4 again. And I'm going to pick up just that one peg. 1 tooth to the comb. Then I'm going to come over here to number 5. And I'm going to pick up just that one peg. Come over here to number 5. Pick up just that one peg. And then I'm going to come back to number 4, pick up just that one peg. Come back to number 4, pick up just that one. Down through the middle. Back up. And let's go through the middle where it's supposed to go instead of the wrong place. And I'm going to bring it down between the zeros. I'm going to tie this in a half knot, making sure that I keep the shiniest side towards the bottom, and what's facing me is the blue side of the ribbon. So the shiny part will be facing out. I'm going to pull that tight. I'm going to slide this off my comb. And we are going to have an absolutely beautiful bow. Right there, just that easy.
That's what Karen just said. Debbie, you make it look so easy.
It is easy. Yay! Daria's on quarantine. Oh gosh. There's so much COVID out here. We really have to be careful, guys. Doggone it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and clip the ends of my ribbon in a whale tail. I'm going to do that by making a taco with a fold at the bottom and the 2 loose ends towards the top. Then I'm going to cut outward towards the end of the ribbon at an angle, and upward at an angle towards the end of the ribbon, and I get those pretty whale tails. And then we have a spectacular looking bow, and I like that. And this one, you'll see that I actually kind of let my tails go. This one wants the tails to go down, but I think I'm going to see if I can get it to kind of go up a little bit like I did on that one, because I thought that looked pretty. We'll see. It may just kind of want to do what it wants to do. Sometimes they do that. And sometimes I just let them go where they want to go because they end up looking pretty and natural. We'll see. It's being a little contrary. Sometimes you just have to rough them up and make them see who's boss. Although I do think I'm going to let the tails go down because they seem to want that more. Okay. Why? What's that? Not turning normally. Okay. We'll put a little best glue ever on there. Hi, Patrice. Welcome. Hi, Kathy. Karen. Sorry, Karen. Oh, and Kathy's here too, though. I know I read Kathy. And Diane. Yeah, nice to see everybody. Oh, my gosh. Look at all these cases of COVID. Oh, my gosh. Darn. Darn. Oh, yeah, come to the book class. It isn't on the schedule yet, but it will be shortly as soon as I get the kits done. And those of you who've taken the bowmaker class know why it takes a while to make those kits, because we do the bows, we do bow pins, and There's a lot of little pieces in that kit, but I have all the ribbon cut, and that's the really time-consuming part, so I think we'll get them this week sometime. Probably when Brittany gets back, we'll finish the kits. You guys won't believe how many kits I have ready for you, though, because I have been working my socks off. I was so proud of myself. I told you Thursday for starting my taxes. Brittany came and looked at me and said, "I'm so glad you're working on your taxes. Now I need you to get back to work on classes because you're not ahead anymore." You're a slave driver. Oh, Patrice, you're at number 13. Please tell us what number 13 is. I can hardly wait to see. Number 1 means I'm working with you and I'm staying up just fine. Number 2 means I need you to slow down or explain something to me. Number 3 is I'm working on something else entirely, but I'm entertained. And then Patrice has her own numbering system beyond that level. There you are. 58. Just ate 2 Krispy Kreme donuts, and number 55. Okay. Brittany does crack the whip, Alice. She's so funny. And if you met Brittany in person, she's so sweet and almost, well, she wouldn't like me calling her mousy, but she might at first glance appear to be a little mousy. Appearances are deceiving. Oh, brownies. Okay, Patrice is eating brownies. All right.
I wondered.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, we do love Brittany, and she can get away with it. Absolutely can, because she is just like the best things in sliced bread. Okay, let's pick up these samples, move them off out of the way. And I feel like starting with this one today. Let's start with the Rosy Posy class. I'm going to wait till last for that one and let its bow dry. So we'll start with one of these. So we're going to have to, we get to start by layering up our layering pieces. We'll get that out. I'm going to get out 2 5x7 cards, or at least have them handy. 2 5x7s and an A6. Our A6 is European A6, as you guys know. All right. And we're going to, this kit is going to use a 5x7 or 7x7 Mary and an A6 Mary. And we're going to use that extra little piece of ribbon we have left. It's going to come in quite handy here shortly. And we will eventually use our insert. We will also use these glitter sheets. So I'm going to set all this off to the side for now, because that's all the second kit. And we're going to start by layering up our pieces. Put those right on top of that, so I have them handy and don't have to dig. And we're going to pop out our base sheet. This kit has really nice tags in it. It has lots of tag choices. So there's my base sheet. And chocolate chip cookies must be a 13. Okay, Kathy Girl 10 has a Chick-fil-A. Mary, you'll have to ask Patrice what just finishing up your brownie is. I've lost track now. You guys crack me up. All right. right, as usual, when we're layering these up, we're going to find the most completed image, and that's going to be our third base sheet. And I think that one's going to be this one in the upper left-hand corner. Is anybody, let's see. I don't think anybody has your kit for this one yet, because I just finished them. But you will enjoy working on these when they get to you. I'm going to take the second most completed image, and that's actually probably the one just to the right and over. The second most completed image is going to go on my cardstock. And as you've heard me say as we work through these deco-large, I want that one to go on the cardstock because the image on the cardstock doesn't have foiling. And by adding a really nice complete image to that one, we get a nice bit of foiling on that third piece. And now we're just going to kind of distribute the pieces where they go. So I'm going to, this one has two, this one has two. Patrice.
Number 8.
I just do it my beer. Patrice, you totally crack me up, lady. Okay, they all have 2 now. Oh. Number 6 and 7, I'm starting my second wrapping. Oh, you guys, you're so funny. Number 26, just finished my European chocolate covered cookies. Oh, that's nice. Oh, this is my happy place too, Patrice. It is for a fact. Oh, man, you guys are funny. Okay, just divvying up pieces at this point now. I just kind of go around and start giving everybody kind of equal pieces once I get my basic pieces down. And when I go to put them together, if it looks like something needs to be shifted, I just slide it from one stack to the other. Usually they are pretty much where we want them to be, though, once we get to this point. There you go. So, Daria. That's great. That's super, Daria. Okay. This has a lot of little tiny pieces. Some of these you actually need to cut your foam squares for because they're little bitty ones. But even these little bitty ones really kind of make a difference. Sometimes if they're just obscenely small, I skip them. But the little tiny ones actually can give an impression of depth. So I usually try it, and then if I just think it's too small, I might skip it. This one has the butterfly, although I could add the butterfly to something else if I wanted to. And then we have a scent with love and a birthday bouquet. This one really has a lot of toppers in this set, a lot of sentiments, because we have these two. We have Scent with Love and Birthday Bouquet, which happen to be the ones I used on my card. But other than that, we also have a beautiful bouquet for a beautiful girl, Forever Starts Today, On Your Special Day. So there's a lot of sentiments with this one. You can kind of use these for anything that makes you happy. Okay, let's go ahead and start layering these up. I'll layer this one first. Oh. And gonna get our foam squares out here. I don't have to go foam square crazy. I actually could have layered some of these up in advance if I thought about the fact that most of you wouldn't have had. Deco little. Hi, Adeline. Welcome, friend. We have 32 people on right now. That's great. Welcome, friends. Okay. I'll put a few foam squares on that one. I could have layered these up in advance if I thought that you guys wouldn't have your kits yet, but it doesn't hurt me. We got time. Let's see. Foam square 2 on that one.
Diane's also following along using her own supplies.
Oh, okay, good, Diane. Good. You make me... That's excellent. I feel like I'm not alone when you guys have your kits. And now that I've gotten ahead of you again, maybe you can get your kits in advance. I know you guys like it when we do that. And then that is my goal for this year. I think I have, right now, I have kits for the next 3 weeks. I have 2 of them that I just need to write the descriptions and post them now. The kits are completely done and the samples are done. I just gotta... Oh, Patrice says, hit the thumbs up button. Thank you, Patrice. I appreciate it. You guys are sweet. Very sweet. Okay, let's layer this thing up and see how it looks. 32 out of 32. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that'd be nice. We actually made it the other day where everybody who was on at one point had given the thumbs up or an equal number to them. I would have pieces from kits 4 years ago, but Brittany purges my supplies now and again. I finally convinced her that when we have those days when she needs to go through my supplies, that she saves them for Emma, for Margie's granddaughter. So I feel like they get used. And no, I wouldn't let her do that if it weren't for the fact that I make so many cards doing the samples for classes and stuff that if I kept all the pieces, I'd be swimming in supplies. And I gotta kind of make room to show you what's new and different. The saga of the soggy house continues, but we're making headway. The stockrooms they're not done in that we will have to eventually move the bookcases back where they're closer together. But just as a precaution, we have them spaced out so air is circulating around everything. So we are well on the way to recovery, though. And we still have some work to do in the rest of the house, but that can take more time. We needed the stockrooms taken care of first. So, and we have. It's good. No worries about anything there. Much to the gratefulness of my family who went above and beyond to just really get in and get things done. Trace, I have a few of the larger Hunkydory packs I've never opened. I buy so much I can't keep up. Yes, I didn't say that. It's our little secret, Patrice. Just you and me and 3,000 of our friends. The French drains are done, Alice. I can't believe it. Our contractor's so good. I mean, how many people do you hear say that about their contractors? We love our contractor. I mean, how many people have their contractor on their phone and call them at 2 a.m. and say, it's flooding, I need you? I did call him. It wasn't 2 this time. It was about 12:30 maybe. What time did I call Dawn? Yeah.
12:30.
Yeah, it was about 12:30 at night. I called him and said, we need you tomorrow. And he was here the very next morning to start putting us back together. And then he had his landscape guy out here started on the French drains. Was it that day or the next day?
I don't remember.
But the whole drain system is now in. So hopefully we won't ever have this happen again. Knock on wood.
Give it a test tomorrow. 90% chance of rain.
Oh, is it? Are we supposed to have hard rain tomorrow?
Just says 90% chance.
Wow, yeah, we do have a great contractor. Great contractor. Yes, and when the house burned last year, when we had that fire in the bathroom, I called him in the middle of the night then, too. I sent him pictures of the fire department here and said, we need you. He was here the following morning then, too. Oh, but then there was a time that I accidentally called him at 2 a.m. And when he answered the phone, I didn't want to just hang up because it was going to show on his speed dial who called. I just picked up my phone and it somehow, you know, how you just pick it up wrong. And it dialed him. So I called his son the next day and said, Cregan, what kind of alcohol does your dad like? And he told me that he liked red apple ale. So I called Don the next day and told him I had a case of red apple ale waiting for him. Oh, dear. So Don, when he saw my name on his speed dial the other night, the night of the flood, he said, Debbie, I was really hoping you were going to tell me you butt dialed me again. Please let it be a butt dial. Nope. What's Kim doing?
Well, Daria is funny. She weighed all of her Hunkydory kits and they weigh over 100 pounds.
Kim, my hubby has bought me lots of crafty stuff he can't remember buying. He says, when did you get that? I say, you remember when you... Oh, boy. I think I told you guys the story of getting mad at Bryce and he bought me jewelry. Yeah. So when it was here, like the day after we resolved our little dispute, he said, how'd you get it here already? I said, oh, I knew you'd want it, said Express. I knew you'd want me to have it right away. So you shipped it Express. Kim, you're so funny. I'm going to sign this said my greatest nightmare is that when I die, my husband will sell all my craft stuff. But when I told him I paid for it. Oh, that's hysterical. Oh, shoot. Oh. Something happens to me, I have no idea what Bryce is going to do. I hope he just remembers at me fondly and says she meant well.
Dumpster.
You would not dumpster my precious stuff.
Call Brittany.
He just said something that I thought was insensitive and that he didn't apologize. And it's just one of those things that kind of wound up, you know. In the greater scheme of things, it was no great shakes, but it hurt my feelings. And so it went on. You know, I'm one of those people who has the need to resolve stuff. If I screw up something up, or if I am feeling guilty about something, I'll wake him up in the middle of the night to tell him about it, because I have this over-established conscience. And he knows it really bothers me when we don't resolve stuff. But he did not apologize the first night. And it went on, and then I got to a point where I wouldn't. So I had several miserable days, and each of those days I went to the jewelry network and bought something from him. And it went on. At first I bought a ring, and then I bought earrings, and I bought a necklace, and I had my eyes on a watch from him. You have any idea what those cost? No, darling, tell me. Oh, you guys, so funny. Yeah, I have a feeling if anything ever happens to me, Bryce is going to have a house full of friends more than happy to help him resolve the overabundance of craft supplies. But that would make me happy. Do I have the complete jewelry set? Yeah, I got the. I did not buy the watch because he apologized before the watch came, before I ordered the watch, but. But what he was surprised about, and I told him, look what you bought. You know, I told him about all the things he bought, and he kind of laughed, sort of. Sort of laughed. And then they showed up the next day, and he said, I can't believe that's here already. I said, oh yeah, I knew you'd want express mail. And you know what else I did, guys? You want to know how bad and addictive I can be?
You may lose.
I sat there and I grabbed the remote control, and one by one I blew up all the programs he had saved on the recorder. It's no big deal now because everything's available on demand, but back in those days, you know, it was pretty new technology. This was a long time ago. It was pretty new technology, so I went through his programs in the DVR, and one by one I said, take that and that and that. And it blew up all his programs. Oh, boy. Yep. So it took him a while to figure out I blew up all his programs. He wasn't really too mad about it. He kind of laughed about that, too. Oh, I really did, Atlas. I blew up all those programs. Yep. Take that and that. Oh, yeah. You guys thought I was nice. Nah, he laughed. Because Bryce just doesn't get antsy about most things, you know? He puts up with a lot from me, guys. Yeah, I told you he did. Now you're getting a clue how much. No. Yeah.
He says that naughty.
It was naughty. So it happens when he goes to bed early and I have time to stew about it at night. Jewelry, television, and wreaking revenge through the remote control. It's only ever happened once. Now we solve our issues faster. It's for someone special. It's just because he's colorblind. That's funny. If I thought of it, I would do that. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh boy. That's what the problem with creative people getting mad. Creative people can come up with all kinds of nastiness. Yeah, he does learn quickly. It only ever happened once. We learn, don't we? Oh. We have a pretty good life of it for the most part. We learn to laugh at stuff and move on. Okay. Let's see. I do the bills in our household, but I don't get in too much trouble for the craft supplies because everything's for the business, you know? Everything's for the business. You know what, guys? We have 3 images put together. I was laughing and listening to your stories, and I didn't realize I had all 3 of them done already. That's cool. That's cool. Wearing all my little squares so I don't wear them. They don't end up all over my nice, clean floor. Okay, let's see. What do we want to do here? We got 3 cards we're putting together here. And this one is not going on this background. This one is going, we have one that's going here. And we have one, our 5x7 card, I kind of repurposed and turned it around the other way. I liked the light part on top, so I'm going this way. So those are the two places we're using the cardstock. And we can really start on either one. But let's go ahead and get our, I think we'll do, which one do I want to do first? I'll do this one first. Let's do this one, this corner piece here first. Okay. Okay. All right, let's see. This one, we actually have 2 layers of our cardstock, and then we have our trimmed down cardstock topper. So we really have 3 layers. We have our gold, and then we have our glitter paper, and then we have our card on top of that. So let's start by putting our Gold Mary on our European A6 card. Let me guess, Betty. You get the stuff and Molly gets the box. Is that right? Andrea says, you girls are living dangerously. I have to confess all my sins, my crafty spends. Is there a pink velvet paper? Yes, there is a pink velvet paper. I think it might be called like bubble gum or something like that. No. My cats look at the boxes and go, oh, another box. We have so many boxes. They like to sleep on the boxes while I'm waiting to get to them, but they don't seem to care too much about the empties because we have so many of them. I don't know if you've been in here, Kathy, when I've talked about Betty's book on Amazon. She wrote a book about adopting her cat, Molly, and it's out on Amazon. It's a really cute little read. You should check it out sometime. And you can find it. I can link it in the newsletter again because I haven't done that for a while. It's really a cute little book. I think you'll enjoy it, so I'll put it out there for you. Okay, for this one, we're gonna use, you actually have 3 pieces of glitter card, 2 5x7s, and then you have a 6x6. We're gonna use the 6x6 for this card. And our card blank, it's always good to measure them. I know what these are because these are the craft style ones, but it measures just very slightly over 5 7/8 by just barely over 4 1/8. So I'm going to cut my largest cut first. 5, and I want to leave a border, but it's not going to be a real big border for any of these. So I think that I'll take things down 1/4 inch, which will give me an 1/8 inch margin all the way around. So the 5 7/8, I'm going to go just a smidge over 5 5/8. And then I'm going to cut my other measure to, if it's 4 1/8, I want to go to 3 7/8. So go just a smidge over 3 3/8, and then we'll test it and see how that looks. And that's a perfect fit. Now, we're going to cut down our cardstock. And we want another 1/8 inch border to let that show. So I'm going to start by cutting my cardstock in half so I don't get carried away and cut into the part I want for my other card. So I'm going to start by cutting it in half. And 5 7/8 is the halfway point in a piece of adorable scoreable. So I'll set this aside for my other card. And then I've got, now I've already cut that to, let's see. Oh, let me just cut it this way to begin with. I'm going to go ahead and cut my piece off of here. I know that's going to be smaller than 3 7/8. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this to probably 3 3/4. I'm just going to test it and see how much I want to take off and see where I want to take things off before I start getting busy with my cutter. It doesn't need an awful lot off, so when I cut it to 3 3/4, a little bit of my glitter shows. I think I'd like a little bit more to show, so I think I'll take another 1/8 off the bottom. So this piece is going from 3 3/4 to 3, and I'm going to make it 3 5/8. Just take a little piece off there, and let's see how that looks for width. That's nice. You see that? That's a nice width. It'll work on my length a little bit still, but that's going to be a nice length there. And then I used to have a cat called Patches, Patrice. Okay, this one was 3 5/8. So I think this one's going to be just a little over 3 5 and let's see. Do it again. This one's 5 and a little over 5/8. So I'm going to make this one to start with a little over a little over 5 3/8. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, there we go. That's going to be good. There we go. So here's our layers. These are going to look great. This first layer, putting my cardstock on top of my glitter paper, I'm going to glue this one. It's important to glue it because I'm gluing on top of... Hi, Ruth Ann. It's important to glue it because I'm hooking this onto onto glitter paper. And even though this is a really fine, soft kind of glitter paper, and glue will get into those little crigs and hold it better. Oops. Oh no, I did it right. Thought for a second I messed up, but I didn't. I didn't wrap any ribbon around this one. Do think I'll go ahead and put my border on before I get too carried away, because it's a little easier to cut if I get in and get that done before I get the card all assembled. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my base sheet and get out the small border. Who's going to empty out their cat? She's a Persian calico. Deep trouble now. Just squeeze. Oh, poor kitty. Okay, I'm going to cut this border. I could do it on my paper cutter, but most of the time I just kind of line it up and flip it off. I'm going to go ahead and glue this border down where I want it. It's going to be about 1/2 inch in from the edge. That's not holding up so high there. You guys can't see what I'm doing. And I'm going to put this just about 1/2 inch in from the edge. There we go. And we popped out these sayings a minute ago. This one I used Sent with Love. I can go ahead and put that one on anytime, either now or after I tape it down. Either way is fine. She read that, thought you were going to empty her out, so she messed up your PC. Patches sounds like a character. I like cats with personality. You certainly have a house full of them. Okay, this is all ready to go now, and I'm going to put some tape flags on the back of here, and we'll line this up pretty on our card base, and we'll have our first card done. Which border am I using, Daria? I use the little border that's under the double, under the sentiments. Okay. Oops, well, I guess it doesn't matter. I've got my tape flags on here. Need to pay attention when I put this on to which way my fold's going. I'll turn this around and get this lined up the way I like it. So I want about an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. When I get it right where I want it, you know, you guys know with my tape flags, I put one piece of tape down the back of each side and then expose just a small amount of my adhesive at the top for anybody who's watching who hasn't seen this technique. And then I can move this around, resituate any way I want to get it right where I want it, and then hold it in place with one hand. Hold it firmly in place with one hand, slide the tape out with the other, then trade places, hold it firmly, slide my tape out, and I end up with a perfectly centered card with little risk of it going in the wrong place. One with flowers and one with words. This one is the one with flowers. Oh. This one has, neither one has words. Does it? No, they both have flowers. They both have flowers. It's the little one, it's the little line one. Okay. All right, that one's done. One down. Next up, let's do this one. This is where we're headed. We're going to take our 5x7 card, wherever that may be. We're going to get our gold mirror. We're going to get one of these 5x7 pieces Brittany cut. We'll eventually use this little tag, which I'm going to keep up here safe from me so I can't lose it. And these little bits of glitter paper like this, these little pieces. This particular glitter paper die cuts really, really nicely. Think about saving these pieces for either borders. Layer that on a little piece of mirror board, and that would be a just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous border on something. Put a little bit of mirror board behind it. That'd be really pretty. And this one would be great, great, great for die cutting. So think about doing that. Okay. I'm going to, oh, this card is also using the longer floral border. So I'll go ahead and clip that out. And I'll set that here with my sentiment. And I don't think I'm going to use any more of that right now, but set it down. Okay, now let's go ahead and get layering here. We're going to use up our scraps on this one, guys. You're going to like this, I think. We're going to use all our scrap pieces. So I'm going to put a 7x7 Miri on my card blank. Putting down 3 rows of tape. Maybe just put your cat back on the keyboard, Patrice. That's funny. Hi, June King. Welcome. The glue I like, my favorite is Cosmic Shimmer. I use I have several of these glue bottles and I fill them all at one time. I get one of the 125 milliliter bottles and then I go through and I fill up and top off all my bottles at once. The one downside to the Cosmic Shimmer is that the big bottle doesn't recap really nicely, so you either have to seal it off somehow, the refill bottle, or you need to use it up once you open it. An option to that is we also have this art glitter, and this is a really nice refill bottle, and the refill, or this one is like 8 ounces, and it's really, really a good price. I haven't seen anybody that has this for less than we have it. So this art glitter is also a really, really good glitter, or a really good glue. What you're looking for is a PVC glue that's got a nice medium body to it. You don't want anything that is as heavy as tacky, and you don't want anything as light as Elmer's. You want something kind of in between that will, flow nicely from the bottle, but not just squeeze out a massive amount at one time, which is what happens if it's too light bodied. So I really like the viscosity of this one. I think it's really nice. So that's what I use in my glue bottles and why I've chosen those. And both of those, both the Cosmic Shimmer and the art glitter are available in our store if you have any trouble finding them. In fact, I'll link them for you in the newsletter. Are you getting the newsletter, June? If you're not getting the newsletter, you want to sign up for that, because anything we talk about like this in the videos, I'll link for you on the newsletters when I send out the kind of recap. Okay, so I've got my gold cardstock, or my gold Mary on. Now I said we're going to use all of our scraps this time. I'm going to set this panel that we're cutting off the gold aside because we're going to use this in our next card. So I'll put that up with those card supplies. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make my next layer for this card out of this mirror board. Excuse me, out of the glitter paper. I already put down the mirror board. And I want a border around here. So I'm going to cut my glitter paper to be, I think I want about maybe just a little less than 1/4 inch all the way around. So I'm going to cut this. I'll start at 4 3/4 just to see how it looks, because I can always cut more, but I can't put it back. So I'm going to take this 5 by 7 and cut it down to 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 to start with. See how it looks, and it's a little narrow. So I'm going to take a little more off. I'll take another, oh, I think I'll go to maybe 4 5/8 and check that. And then do 6 5/8. We'll hold that up and see what we think. And that's a really good one right there. I like that. So 6 5/8 by 4 5/8 to get that nice amount of border on here. So next we're going to cut this one down to create our next layer. And this one is going to be, I'm going to cut my length first. Cut your length first when you do this one, guys. There's a reason why I want you to do that. So we are going to, this one was 6 5/8. I want this mirror board, or the glitter paper to show nicely. So I'm going to cut the bottom off of this. That was 6 5/8. I think I'll go to 6 and maybe just a little over 3/8. And I'm going to cut this panel off of here. And I'm going to set this up, this piece right here. I'm going to set this up with that mirror board I saved. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to cut my, I could probably cut just a tad more off of that. Maybe just a little more off of that. Let's go ahead and go to 5 3/8. Take a little more off of that and see how that looks. That's better. Okay, so this one was 4 5/8 on the mirror board. I'm going to take this one and we'll go to 5. So make sure I'm doing this right, guys. Still a little roomy here today, so I want to make sure I'm getting my correct measures. Yeah, okay. So this one was 4 5/8. Yes. So this one's going to be about 4 and just a little, I think I'll start at 4.5. Maybe just a little under 4. We'll see how that looks. Little under 4.5, and it needs a little bit more off, doesn't it? We'll take just a tiny amount more off. And let's see how that looks. Okay, that's good. So I'm at 4 3/8 on this one. So I'm going to layer these up. They're going to be so pretty together. And before I start putting everything together, I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to take this border and I'm going to put it over that little checked border. I want to use this pretty foiled piece to go across here, so I'm putting it right over the printed border on the card. I'll put a little glue right on that border. And I'm going to put my border piece right on top there. Oh, I love listening to you and your cat, Patrice. That cat's funny. I like her. It's funny how some cats just have such personality. They really let them show. Others are just kind of quiet and subdued. We have... We have so many pets in our household. We have one cat that's like your Patches, though. Her name's Taz, and she's quite a character. She's aptly named. I think I told you about her, that her actual name on her veterinary record is Precious Taz. Patrice may mail her cat to us. I don't think Bryce would go for that, guys. When we got Taz, he said, I really don't want that cat. If you bring that cat home, you're taking care of it. You're cleaning its litter box. I'm not going to feed it or pay it attention. It's not my cat. It's everybody else's cat. Deborah, I really don't want you to have it. So you just use your best judgment, okay? Well, you've heard me say we have Taz. He let me use my best judgment. My best judgment was I needed that cat. She was a stray and she was alone in the world and she was so sweet and she didn't have anybody to love her. So the girls and I brought her home. And the very first thing that Taz did was run over to Bryce, and it didn't matter who had her. She got away and went back to Bryce. One of my margins on this glitter paper, I think, is just a tiny bit off, so I'm going to straighten that up a little bit with my trimmer because it looks a little wanky. There we go. So we've got our layers on. And she went straight to Bryce. She was a smart, smart cat. She knew what she needed to do. So, okay. Let's go ahead and put this layer on our card. And we'll load our popper up on here. So I'm using tape instead of glue to put this one on, because glue doesn't hold particularly well to mirror board, guys. So usually I will tape it because I don't like it when my cards fall apart. One is skittery and one is twitch. We have a Precious Taz. We called her Precious initially because when we first, Brittany found her and brought her to me when I was up in Kelso, which is about 60 miles from here, visiting my folks and her, Brittany's mom. And I happened to have been at Dairy Queen visiting when Brittany found this kitten and she called her mom for moral support because she was going to have to take this kitten to the pound. She knew her dad wouldn't let her bring it home, and she was house sitting for her grandparents, and she knew that wasn't right to take a cat there. So she didn't have anywhere to take this kitten, but she found it in the middle of the road, and it was just, I mean, she just didn't have a lot of life in her. She was dehydrated and flea-ridden, and she was just kind of a mess when Brittany found her, and she was just a little kitten. So she went to all the houses surrounding there, and everybody said, nope, not our cat, not our cat. So Brittany found out Aunt Debbie was in town and brought her to the Dairy Queen where we were, and walked into Dairy Queen and had this little wiggling mass under her shirt. And she showed me this kitten, and the rest is history. But when we got her to the veterinarian, they gave her some fluids and fleed her and checked her out. They said she was healthy enough, but she was just seriously hungry and, underweight and dehydrated. And they said that if she made it through the next couple of days, that she would be fine. They thought she would make it fine. She just was really overheated and dehydrated. So they, like I said, they gave her some fluids there, and then they sent her home with us with some instructions to care for her. And we took her home. Well, she was very sweet and cuddly and just wanted to be held and pampered and babied initially. So we called her Precious. But within a couple days, when she started feeling good, she showed her true colors, and then she became Taz. So now she's Precious Taz. So we have Precious Taz, and we have Derek and Meredith. They're two kittens that we adopted from the shelter together. Bryce took me to we actually got them at a PetSmart event. And we went in to choose a kitten to replace a cat that we lost, and we couldn't decide which one. He wanted one, I wanted the other, so we took them both. And they were shelter kittens from California. They were in a kill shelter, and an organization called the Oregon Friends of Shelter Animals had gone to the kill shelter and brought them up here to Oregon. And they were named Derek and Meredith after the characters on Grey's Anatomy. But Derek's name never really fit him, so I've renamed him Fergus. Fergus McFluff. And he's just a laid-back, big, fat, heavy cat that loves everybody. And he's very social, and he's just the sweetest big old cat. And Meredith is a just pill. She only loves Lauren. She tolerates the rest of us, but she loves Lauren. Here we go, guys. There's card number 2. Okay. All right, we're on to card number 3. Now in card number 3, that's this one. We're going to use the base sheet. And I said we're going to use some of our leftovers. Let's start, however, by taking our remaining 5x7, and let's take these extra pieces I told you to keep. And we're going to cover our card in our glitter paper, so we'll get that out. Fold it, put our 3 pieces of tape on it. Yeah, in Grey's Anatomy, Derek and Meredith were like the great love connection, and Derek died, remember? They were married and he died. It was this whole build up to, will they get together, will they not get together, and then he died. And so he's Meredith's great lost love. But Derek's name never really fit him. He wasn't a Casanova type like Dr. McDreamy. So he became Fergus because that kind of fits him a little bit better. I went and saw the movie Brave, and I just liked the name Fergus. It was in the name Fergus. The Fergus was one of the characters in there, and he just kept talking about Fergus. And then I started calling Derek Fergus, and it kind of stuck. And it fits him. Fergus fits. Okay, let's see. Ooh, I'm glad I looked. I don't want to put this down yet. I do want to check the size. I want to make sure my size is going to be perfect. And looking, my cardstock might be just a tiny bit big. Not even so much. I think I'm going to change it. It's just maybe just a little bit big. I'm not going to put this down yet because it looks like I wrapped a ribbon. So I've got my glitter paper, and I've got this piece of mirror that we cut off. I'm going to take this mirror, and I'm going to cut this mirror to 2 inches wide. I think I wanted about 2, maybe even 1 3/4. I'll go to 1 3/4 wide. That's going to do it. Okay, that's going to be one of my layers. And then I've got a choice of pieces here, I think. Now, I actually have 2 different pieces, and this is the longer of the 2. It really doesn't matter which one I use. But remember when I said, in fact, I think I'll use this one because I want the pattern to be the same on both of them. Remember when I said you only worry about what shows? So I'm going to cut this piece. I'm going to start by cutting it to, let's cut it to 1, and the last one was 1 3/4. Let's cut it to 1 1/4 wide. And then I'm going to cut this, I think I'll just kind of cut it in half. It doesn't even have to be precise. And I'm going to put this on my mirror board. And I'm going to tape these pieces in place. Okay. I'm going on Mary, so I'm going to tape it. I like your thinking, Elise. Just stay up with us. Sleep tomorrow. That's good. Okay. Okay. I'm going to center this. I'm going to put it on down to the end of my Mary, and I'm going to center it side to side. Maybe. And get it as even as I can, just eyeball it. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this other end of my mirror board. I'm not worried about the fact that this paper is short, because this is all going to be under this topper, right? And if it doesn't show, it doesn't have to be there. Sometimes people ask me, with all this layering that I do I have to use a full sheet of Mary under there? The answer is no. I do, because it's faster and more efficient, time-wise for me to do that. But you could cut the centers out of things if you wanted to. And I'm going to put this one down to the edge of my Mary and kind of center it side to side. There we go. I'm going to glue this now to my cardstock. Just a hint about mirror board, because mirror board is so highly reflective. If you glue behind it and you don't smooth your glue out, you'll have a ridge that shows from the front on your mirror board. But since we have this cardstock over the top, let's just glue in this center strip here, and then we won't have to worry about any of the, ridging in our mirror board, anywhere it would show. So I'm just going to put some glue down in the center section, steer away from those sides. And we'll glue to the bottom and up to the top, because I don't want this lifting on the edge. And I'll put this on here. And I'm going to put this centered side to side. And it looks like my Mary hangs just a tiny bit over the edge of my cardstock. I trim that off just a tad. My cardstock, or my Mary was, let me try that again. My glitter was just a little bit, let me actually move that. It wasn't quite centered. How's that? Better, still too much to the side. Too much to one side. There we go. All right, now I got it where I want it. Okay, I'm going to trim just a tiny sliver off the bottom here. Line that up. Okay, now it's time to get my ribbon out. And I guess I didn't have to wait to wrap my glitter. Well, I do. Never mind. I'm silly. I'm going to take my ribbon. I'm going to put a piece of my tape down the middle of it. This little piece of ribbon we had left after making our bow. And we are going to these kids are talking now about being in a sugar crush.
Yes.
I'm going to take this ribbon and I'm going to wrap it around my card. And I'm going to create this pretty stripe down the middle. Bring it back up and tack it on the back. Trim off my extra pieces. This card right here, I think, is a really nice example of using some of those spare scraps I think it's maybe one of the prettiest cards in the pack. And I'm using scraps up. I'm using my leftover ribbon. I'm using my leftover cardstock. I'm using my leftover Mary. I'm going to go ahead and put this down now onto my card. Hopefully straight after all this work on it.
The tape flags.
What?
What happened to tape flags?
This is not a tape flag job. There we go. Covering card job, which usually happens with 3 pieces of tape because it leaves it too loose to do it. Move here. Okay. And there is what this looks like. Now we're going to take our topper and we're going to put it on, and we're going to bring this bow we tied earlier still, his tails are just being contrary today. Still having trouble with those. What do they want to do? Sometimes I just let them do what they want, but this one's, what it wants to do is turn upside down, and that's just not acceptable. Sometimes it just has to do what I want it to do. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put this on some foam squares. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing okay?
I don't know, they're talking about loony bins. Guess I'm not.
This is a nice scrappy card though, isn't it? I like this card. Okay, a few more foam squares. You might have noticed these foam squares that I'm using. I have the Hunkydory sheet that came in my kit sitting here, but I had another sheet of foam squares already going, so I've been using that. I'll save this one for a kit. But it doesn't have the Hunkydory label on it. These are actually from Hobby Journal. They're just as good. In fact, I think the paper actually peels off of them more easily. We have these in 1.5 millimeters, 2 and 3 millimeters deep. And I really, really like them. And they're a little bit less expensive than the Hunkydory. So remember that you have that choice available. Okay, we've got that on our card. And now I'm going to put my bow on. And you know what? I centered that the same way I did my first one, but I do believe when I look at that card that I cut the original down a little bit. And I didn't cut this one, and it's kind of too late to do that. Yep, see that? I cut the first one down a little bit, but I don't have to do that. It's a little too late to do it now, so I'm going to just center this a little higher, put this bow on right here. And here's the 2 versions of this one. We've got a tall version, we've got a little bit shorter version. You can do either one. This one I cut down a little, this one I did not. I think I actually, now that I look at it, I think I actually like the taller version of it, but you can go either way you want. Okay. Any questions about any of those? Let's put an insert in it and this set will be done. You do have this beautiful piece of cardstock left, big enough for an A6 card. You've got this nice piece of glitter paper left that's beautiful. You actually might keep that one so you see what you're going to do with that final. Roberta, welcome, friend. And where is my insert paper for this one? Oh, it's right there on top. I got to choose which one gets the floral, and I don't think it really matters. Okay. All right. These are my 3 cards I did today. I think I can go any way I want here. I'll go ahead and put this topper or this insert in here. Thank you, Elsie. Nice way, like I said, to use up some scraps there. Smash that like button. Thank you, guys. Okay, put my insert in, trim around the outside. I love that you guys have such a good time chatting on here. This is really an important social time when we're all locked up in COVID, and I love being able to offer you a place to chat with like-minded crafters. Here's our insert paper in it. Isn't that beautiful? So pretty. Then I'll take this piece, and I'm going to have to kind of divvy this up between the two, which I can do. One way I can do this is just to put my insert in and allow some borders. So see, I actually have, this will fit, and I'm going to make this piece right here maybe 4.5 inches wide, and I'll just have a 1/4 of an inch border around it. And I can put this right in. I might have to trim it down just a little. I think I'll trim top and bottom down just a little to allow me to kind of center it in there. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one in here. Okay. You're gonna drive to Debbie's and bring me your cat. I think your cat actually sounds like she's amazing. I do like cats with personality. Tazzy, if she decides she wants to be loved and you're not into it for whatever reason, you're sitting with your PC in your lap trying to work or something, and she'll jump up there and say, I'm going to be loved now. And I'll say, wait, no, this is not a good time. You scram and I'll hold you later. She'll hiss at me if I move her. She's really quite persistent about what she wants. Okay, trim this down just a little bit. We'll go ahead and put this insert in. So who says you can't get 2 5x7s and an A6 out of one piece of liner paper? We can do it because we're pretty good at this. just saw Teddy on Facebook. How's he look? I haven't seen him yet. Hopefully, maybe he'll make an appearance here shortly if he's home. Okay, we've got all 3 cards done and lined. Let's get on to part 2 because we still have 3 cards to do. Move my scraps out of the way and we'll get right into layering up the pink set. All right. Okay, let's get our pink set out here. We got everything we need. We'll set our insert off to the side for now. We're going to take this piece and we're going to get our base sheet out. Put my card blanks up here for now since we're layering pieces at the moment. And we'll use our base sheet as one. We'll use our cardstock as one of our bases, and we'll take our largest, most complete image, which is in the upper left-hand corner this time, as our third base sheet. And then we're going to find our second most complete image, and that's going over the cardstock. We want it there because we want that foiling. There we go. We want that foiling to show, and then we'll start layering these up. So we've got one here. Now we've got 2 pieces on that one, 2 pieces on this one, 2 pieces here, and then we'll start divvying up the flowers. And there aren't an awful lot of big pieces in this one. In fact, I looked at this and I almost just made 2 cards out of it. But I think you'll find that we get plenty of dimension, even though there aren't an awful lot of pieces in this kit. That's got 3, that's got 3, that's got 3. This one, you have this one 4. This one 4. These little partial flowers really help. And I may move these around a little bit as I start layering. My goal is everything will have at least 3 layers. Did Teddy get home?
No, they haven't called.
Oh, they said they saw him on Facebook. Oh, they haven't called yet? Oh, they must have just seen an old picture on Facebook then. Okay.
Yep, no text messaging, Jeff.
All right. Well, he's still at the groomers then. All right. Oh. All right. Okay. Molly gets up on you and dives on you at 3 in the morning. She's saying, remember 2 hours ago when you wanted to play and I didn't? Well, kitties, puppies. You gotta love those critters. They add so much to our lives and they ask for so little. I love my kitties and my puppies. Okay. So let's get some foam squares on here. Oh. All right. Get some foam squares on there, get some foam squares on these pieces. Like I said, depending on how they look, I may rearrange the pieces a little bit. The big pieces I'll leave where I've got them, but it's possible I may move the flowers around a little bit if if I'm kind of heavy in one area and don't have enough in another area or something. And that's just preference and, just gauging how you think it looks, what's pleasing to you. So there's no specific formula for that. See how much easier these little squares peel? I actually really like these. I actually think I'm using the 3s on this too. So you actually get a little extra dimension with the 3s. Now what's in your kit is the 2s, but we do have those available in the store if you want some of those 3s to try. Okay, line this up the way they've got it. This one has kind of an odd angle. When you think you can't possibly go that way, it's right. You think that can't be what they want. Yep, that's where it goes. That looks nice. And let's see, where does this one go? I think that's a good choice for here. Is that one there that goes? Yeah, I think it is. Okay, that one goes there. I think that's going to be okay. Okay, and what do I have here? I have part of the flower here. Where do you want to go? The mystery of the flower. That one I didn't get very straight. The thing I love about foam squares is they're pretty forgiving. They'll let you move them. Oh, well, I think I had it in the right place. I haven't. There it is. I had it on there wrong. Okay. Where does that go? There it goes down here. Yeah, I think it'll look okay. I'll go ahead and put this one down here. Well, I don't have an awful lot of layers on there, but it's still really pretty. I think that one looks good. Our next one here.
We're all ready for Teddy time, but he's not here.
No, he's not here yet. Nobody puts Teddy in a corner. Now, Teddy and I are agreeing to disagree on certain aspects. However, Teddy, the weather turned cold and wet, and Teddy is really challenging me on whether he should have to go outside before he potties. And we are kind of agreeing to disagree on that. He hasn't been able to have as much time in his shop with me because he's pretty good in the house, but he is just a menace out here. So he hasn't been able to be in the shop too much lately. So we get that house training reaffirmed. A little squirt. Teddy takes the stage. Oh, the Bernie Sanders emoji. Lauren was telling me about that. With his mittens.
He put it on a shirt or a sweatshirt, put it on his website for $45 a piece, and he sold out immediately.
That's
and he
cute.
donated 100% of the proceeds to Feed the Hungry.
That's an awesome thing to do.
Vermont.
That's great. That's a man who knows how to raise some money.
Mm-hmm.
Presidential inauguration, nothing. He's going to stay warm.
I'd like to borrow his mittens right now.
Oh, it's not that cold in here.
Freezing in here.
No, it's comfortable in here. Yes, Teddy's getting his hair done. He's getting a new do. He was kind of looking pretty scruffy. We realized when he couldn't see to the left or the right, we really better get him in and get his hair cut, because he did not have full view of his surroundings anymore. And when you live with 3 cats and you're a dog, you need to know if there's a cat around that corner. Especially if that cat's Taz. Because Tazzie's more than willing to set that dog straight if that dog comes after her. Or she perceives that that dog is coming after her. He doesn't really have to do it. The only one worse than Taz is Meredith. Meredith, Lauren's cat, will chase Ted down through the house just to wallop him because she thinks he needs it, just to be reminded of.
Well, he usually does.
Well, yes, he does often need it. Yes. He thinks kitties should want to play like dogs, and our kitties don't always appreciate that. So yes, he does occasionally need a kitty wallop. We believe in kind of letting the cats do that, because the puppy has to be kept in line, and sometimes it's easiest and best just to let nature take its course and let the kitties reaffirm the rules. Okay, we got number 2 done. Last one here. This set here goes together really fast. The images are really big on this one. And it goes together really quickly, the cards themselves. First set we did was the more time-consuming of the 2.
Mary R.S. Is Meredith the cat Brittany found?
No, that's Precious Taz. That's Tazzy. Meredith is of the Derek and Meredith duo, and we got them from Oregon Friends of Shelter Animals. They were they were in a kill shelter in California, and Oregon Friends of Shelter Animals, you know, Oregonians are kind of known for being overly generous in adopting pets. We just do. I mean, there's just every family virtually up here has multiple pets, and it's just kind of a cultural thing here, I guess. I don't know, but we're known for, you know, we have lots of second chance shelters and stuff where they actually bring cats and dogs from other shelters and bring them here to adopt them. And they do that. This Oregon Friends of Shelter Animals goes to the kill shelters in California and picks up animals that are scheduled for euthanasia and brings them up here. And Meredith and Derek were just tiny kittens but they were malnourished and not in good shape when they were in the kill shelter. And they were both on the cart, ready to go to euthanasia, when the person from OFSA saw them. And she said she wouldn't normally have taken kittens in that condition because they really were pretty rough. But they both exhibited such strong, really called out to her, climbed and put their paws through the sides of the cage and really tried to get her attention. And she thought, well, if you guys are that persistent, you deserve a chance. So she brought him up here, and we adopted them, and they were skinny. Oh my gosh, they were skinny. Skin and bones. And they were tiny. And we had them for a day or two. Well, did we? Yeah, we had them for a day or two. And I took them back into the vet and said, are these kittens going to make it? Because I don't want our family to fall in love with them if they're not going to make it. And she checked them over good, and she said, I don't see any reason why they won't. They are. But they were just then. They're supposed to be 2 pounds before OFSA adopts them. But they were 1.6 and 1.8 or something then.
Okay.
And just really tiny. And they were, I think she said they were 6 or 7 weeks old then. So they were really young to be away from their mother. And I worried about them and fussed over them and fixed them hamburger and fed it to them every couple of hours. And we got to see them both now. They're robust little creatures.
22-pounders.
Yeah, Fergus is 22 pounds. I'd love to say it's all muscle. He is a big cat. He's a big cat, but he's also an overweight kitty. Now, remember when I told you these go together fast? They go together fast if you can figure out where the piece goes. This one is challenging me. Where does it go? There it is. I found it. Wow. That was not easy. Okay, all of the pieces are on. Let's get these cards put together, shall we? Alrighty. We'll start with this one. This one is simple. We're using a corner of her cardstock. Let's see how we laid these out. Oh, I see. This one I did on glitter paper, so it doesn't even have to lay out on the cardstock. This one and this one both come off of this paper, so they lay out like this. Okay, so let's get our cardstock out here. And in both of these cases, I've simply cut the cardstock and put them on mirror board. So I'm going to go ahead and get my mirror board out here. And these are really simple cards, but they're pretty. You know, that's the thing with these deco-large, especially these larger image ones. Yeah, all of them, though. They just don't require an awful lot of embellishment because the layers really take care of that. Oh, and Molly was pregnant when you got her, Betty? Oh. Patrice says, why would they need a mother when they had you? That's true. But you know, that's one reason I get irritated with Meredith and the fact that she only likes Lauren. I saved that kitty from the shelter. I brought that kitty home. I fed that kitty every 2 hours. cooked up hamburger and fed it to her every 2 hours. And now that cat does not have the time of day for me. That's just not nice. She should be more appreciative. But cats will be cats. See, they're all supposed to love me. That's the thing. All these pets that we adopt are supposed to love me. And most of them do. But Meredith doesn't have the time of day. So there you go. Lauren called her Mare. And those two are a match made in heaven, I tell you. That cat will walk right past the rest of us and not give us a moment's notice, but she'll jump up in Lauren's lap and rub her whiskers in that kid's face and talk to her and rub around her and sit in her lap, and she follows Lauren around the house, and Lauren is her person. Lauren is her only person. The only one she cares about. Okay, got my 3 pieces of tape on. Gonna cover my card with my mirror board. Lay that down on there. Rub it on good. Trim around it. Got our card covered. Okay, so we have 2 cards to do. We have both of our cards covered. You'll see that our pieces kind of hang off a little bit on one side. That's no big deal. You just take your scissors and trim them off a little bit. And we're going to cut ourselves a couple of card faces here. This one, I did both of these portrait orientation, so they're going up and down. So I'm going to, my card is 4 1/4 wide, or 4 1/8 wide. I'm going to go to about 3 7/8. I think I'll go a little over. I think I'll make them maybe 4 3/4. I have a little wider margins on these too. Maybe just a little over 4 3/4. I can see what it looks like. Yeah, that's right where I want it. Okay. And card is 5 7/8. I'm going to go to 5 5/8. Maybe just a little bit extra. Let's see how this looks. That's right where I want it. Getting a nice border around there. Go ahead and we will tape this one down. For this one, I chose the Happy Birthday. I love this little oval. It's just really pretty. Gonna have a couple border pieces left from this kit because I didn't use the borders. I felt like the cards really filled the space without overfilling the space, and I just didn't need any more, so I didn't use the border pieces. You can use the borders on your inserts, and that looks pretty. Let's get this on here. What's on the left?
Karen's trying to help him find the community tab on
Oh, okay.
Facebook.
Okay. It's on the left. Everything's on the left.
Well, it depends, I guess, because some are saying it's on the right, some saying it's on the left.
Well, I think Patrice is kidding about the fact that I told them that I wanted them to remind me that my supplies were on the left.
Yes.
Everything's on the left. Or at least that's what I'm perceiving that means.
That's probably true.
This card kit's now posted on the website. It's pretty economically priced.
3 people bought it today.
Oh, did you? Okay, cool.
I shipped 3.
Excellent. And in fact, all of these deco-large kits are pretty affordably priced because we just don't have to add a lot to them. Excuse me? Oh, good night, Elsie.
And Stephanie.
And Stephanie. See you later, friends. Okay, I'm going to go to the same dimensions on this one, I think. 4 and 5, 8, roughly. Let's see. Excuse me, 6 and 5 and 7/8. Boy, goofy. I'm going to go to 5 and 5/8, maybe just a little bit extra because I want a lighter one.
Grace was
There we go.
complaining that there's some lady making cards on their pet channel.
Ooh, that's pretty. Okay. Okay. Sitting here cutting all that ribbon last night, my back is killing me. I have to take a Tylenol. Okay. I'm gonna get my tape on this piece. This is what this looks like. And made a little wider margins on this one. It's because I didn't do a lot of other stuff to it. Let my mirror board show a bit. I get this put down on my card. Looks like I had a little piece of tape sticking up there. I just rolled that back on itself so I don't have that sticky tape showing above my. Use my tape flags to get this nice and even. Nice thing about tape flags, if it isn't quite where you want it, you can peel them up fairly easily. Reposition. Okay. Tape flags down. All right. I'm going to take my piece. I'm going to glue that in place over the top. I'm going to go this way. I could do, this is really kind of, can go either way, guys. Which do I like the best? I almost kind of like that one this time. It's a little different orientation. I'm going to go with a different orientation this time, because why not? I might as well get a little extra dimension. I'm going to put some foam squares under it, so I'm going to do 2 things different this time. I'm turning my flowers around on this one. You can choose which way you like them the best. And I am, the last one I glued down, this one I'm going to put on some foam squares, so get a little bit of extra lift from it. What are they doing now?
Well, both Patrice and Kathy love your tape flag ideas. That's been helpful for them. And Patrice asked, was it on the left? And Kim wrote back, nope, it was on the far right. But I scrolled left. Does that count?
Okay. Got. I like the way that looks. Kind of looks like a hanging basket. It's pretty. I'm going to put my To Someone Special up on some foam squares on here also. If you didn't have, what does Patrice say? Something about reporting it.
Can the reportees be on the reporters? Patrice, after tonight's chat, maybe we ought to lay off low.
Okay, here's this one. Done. Let's figure out which one isn't inserted yet. Okay, hello. And this one's done. Now this one you have two variations here. The one we just did where we added foam squares and I turned the image around the other way. I think they're both pretty. Now you can choose which way you like it the best. What do you guys think?
I like the right.
You like this one? This one has a little more layering. That may be what you're seeing, but
No, I like the
orientation of the flowers. Okay.
at the bottom, which offset by the tag.
Okay.
The other one, to me, the tag is too close to the tall flower.
Cool.
So,
Okay.
but hey.
Can go either way. And it's just a matter of personal preference. Hey, Bryce, what's for supper? I was just wondering the same thing. What is for supper, hon?
I don't know. What are you making?
Well, if it's up to me, it'll be any one of a dozen different DoorDash options. Although I am hungry.
You pick up your dog. You can bring dinner.
Okay, we're going to get our last card going here. This one's really simple, you guys. We're just going to use this beautiful pink cardstock for our card cover. We're going to get this 5x7 card out here. We're going to cover it in mirror board. Then we get a strip of Mary on here. You did get quite a bit of mirror board in this kit, I gotta say. Almost all these cards today have. Oh, you had pizza. I love pizza. Patrice said she ate all the brownies. Is that dinner, Patrice? Brenda liked the right one too. Oh, maybe lasagna. I would like that. Is it in? Did you start it already?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
Well, it's probably not happening tonight. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, it might have to be tomorrow because it takes a while to cook. Yeah, I think it's going to be fast food at our household.
Eddie's having popcorn for dinner.
Popcorn's good.
That's fast.
I think given the fact that I had cold cereal out of the box and a piece of turkey for breakfast/lunch, that I need some real food.
You were offered and declined.
I wanted to go sleep a while.
Well, that's Choices we make.
Okay. So we got our mirror board down. We're going to cut this. That is 5x7. So we'll start with 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. Then we'll see what we think, how that looks. It is, it's pretty, but it's a little tight. I'm going to allow a little bit more of my Mary to show, so I think I'm going to go a little, maybe 4 5/8, maybe, by
Good night to Karen.
6 5/8. Good night, Karen. Thanks for stopping and chatting with us.
Baked mashed potatoes and green beans. There's a lot.
You know what? We have a couple of gift cards to Outback. They're yours.
They're my gift cards. Yeah,
They're your gift cards, but doesn't that sound good? And that's right in the right neighborhood for picking up Ted. All right. Got our glitter paper cut to the right size. We're going to put some tape flags on it so we can line it up. I love this color. This iridescent is really pretty. Sometimes I don't think the iridescence comes through over the TV, but when you see them, they're really quite beautiful. Although you've seen this cardstock before in one of our kits, so I think that you'll probably remember that one. You have a nice piece of card left from this kit, too. I'll put this on here. We have a border strip here. So it looks like I used the floral one. Bob and Teddy crack me up eating together. Oh my gosh, they're so funny. I swear that dog gets as many bites as Bob does. But they are just so happy together. It's just like, okay. He loves that dog. That dog loves him. I used to say that Bryce stole my dog, but I almost think he is. It's hard to say whether it's Bryce's dog now or Bob's dog, but
Dad's dog.
yeah, they love each other. At mealtime, he's definitely Bob's dog. He goes there first. Then he looks to the rest of us, but he goes to Bob first. Okay, I'm going to use this beautiful, I love this, the colors of this topper. This one says, "May all your wishes come true." And we're going to put this up on some foam squares at the bottom. I use that little border up about, I'm going to say maybe 3/8 of an inch from the edge of the Mary. We're going to put this up on some foam squares right above that. I'm enjoying these hobby journal squares today. I know I've mentioned that a couple times, but I really do like the way they peel off. So easily. And they stick just as well. And they cost less. So what's not to love? Okay, last time I put this down flush, I'm thinking I'm going to put it on foam squares this time. Why not? Got some good stuff to show you for, in fact, a surprise. I have a surprise for you too. Something I said I wasn't going to do. So you can think on that for a minute. Where's the Beatrice? Yes, well, you got to ask Bryce what I'm doing with Beatrice Potter, because he's holding that one up because he wanted to research doing the screenshots, and so that one hasn't moved any further, but I think we may just have to move forward on that if we don't make some progress, because...
Yeah, just move forward.
Because it's got to get done, right? Patrice lives a deprived life because she's never had Jiffy Pop. Jiffy Pop's good. I always managed to burn it, but you know what? I love burnt popcorn. I like it just slightly scorched. Their house exploded?
What?
Oh my gosh. What caused their house to explode? I'll put the lots of love up on some home squares too. Okay, here we go. I'm going to insert this real quick, and then we'll get on to show and tell. We've got quite a bit to show you today. Sorry we didn't get to see Ted. The groomers are taking forever tonight. Bet you get to see him on Thursday with his new do. He's gone to a different groomer today. Oh, it'll be interesting to see what his haircut looks like. I mean, same grooming salon, but a different groomer inside the salon.
No, one more. We had last time.
Is it? Okay. Okay, and this one inserted. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I don't think there's really enough print on this paper to bother inserting these with this paper. We probably insert it with maybe what am I trying to say? The trimmy inserts. Okay, let's move these all out of the way. Let's take one final look at what we created today, because they're beautiful. And this kit is out there and available in the store right now. It's called Pink. Let's see, Pink and Rosy. Pink and Rosy. And it's out there now and available and fun. And it's a nice kit. It's got some good stuff, some extras in it for you. Lots of mirror board. And I think you'll enjoy doing this one. These are decidedly feminine cards, I think. They're beautiful. Okay, so we've got our pinks. I have too many cards here. Which ones are which? It doesn't really matter because they're the same mostly. We had 3 cards from the Rosy set. We have 3 cards from the pink set. And they're beautiful. Okay, let's move these out of the way. And let's do some show and tell. On Thursday, Margie is going to be doing your class. And Margie is leading you through embroidery on paper. This kit is now up. Going to make 4 embroidery on paper Christmas cards.
Too close.
Too close. Back them up.
That's better.
So we've got the packages, the ornament, the Christmas trees, and the stocking. If you like this embroidery on paper, we have a lot of floral embroidery on paper kits and those kind. So if you guys enjoy this, we may be able to do some more floral kinds of embroidery on paper with the Find It trading kits also. But let's see how this one goes and see what everybody likes. Next Saturday, we are doing tulips. Here's the first tulip. Here's the second tulip. Here's the third tulip. I think these are bright and cheery. And does anything say spring like tulips? And then the kit is called Spring to Fall. These actually kind of looked fallish to me. This one is, I can't remember what it's called. Retro something. But these. This kit was actually way prettier. I have to tell you the truth, I didn't love it in the package, but I think they turned out really pretty. Good night, Adeline. Here's the next one. So we've got 6 cards next Saturday. And that is scheduled on the website now. And this kit is out there and available now, as are Margie's cards. The following Thursday, a week from Thursday, we're going to do something I said we weren't going to do because I was able to get more. This is the Blessings set, and we were able to get more from Hunkydory, so we're doing the blessing crosses. Too close?
Yeah. Okay.
I think these turned out spectacularly. I love these cards. They're beautiful. They'll be beautiful cards for Easter. They'd also be beautiful cards for sympathy cards. They're beautiful. Pretty, pretty, pretty. I love these. This has lots and lots of little tiny pieces layered but it only has a couple of larger images, and then all of it is put on in little pieces. And with this one, we're bringing in some pearl paper. We're bringing in some stickers to really set these off. I think they're just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. This kit will be up tonight. It's all done. The kits are made. I just need to write the listing, so this will be up tonight. Then 2 weeks from today, we'll be doing this one, which finishes off this.
Eddie says she's already got the big kit of that. And wants to know what extra things. Can you put those in the newsletter?
Yes. I'll have to look at it, but I can do that for you, Betty. This one is I think, I'm not sure if it's called the brightest in the bunch, but this is another one I didn't think a lot of before I made them, and I just think they're bright and cheery and wonderful. Mm-hmm. These are just, yeah, they're nice. This one has a little tag on it that says you're the brightest in the bunch. This one's a happy birthday. I brought the kind of fuchsia colored red mirror board into these, and I think that really helped brighten these up. This one has a little happy birthday banner across the bottom, and I just think they're cute as they can be. And this one, I love this one. I just think these are gorgeous and elegant. This time I used some linen textured gold paper, gold cardstock behind this one, and I think that really set this one off beautifully. And this one, I just think it's so elegant and so gorgeous. The colors are beautiful. And this one, I love, love, love the way this looks on that fuchsia red mirror board. Beautiful. This kit is also finished and will be up. I say tonight. I haven't slept enough yet, so if it isn't up tonight, it'll be up tomorrow. And finally, I told you I've been working on the bows. Even if you've already taken the bow class, I'm going to encourage you to think about getting the Blueberry Bowmaker and the new ribbon pack, not just for the sale, although all sales are appreciated, of course, but because we're going to do some new techniques with this. One of the things that they talk about it's just a little package filler. They talk about using both of the mini and the midi, the tiny. I don't know where my other one went. This one was sitting here, but the mini and the midi bowmaker together. I don't know where it went. It's here somewhere. And I will show you how to do that, and I will also show you how to do some of the larger cards in that set are 5x7s. But this is going to come up. I think I'll do this on a Saturday because I think we have a little smaller crowd on Thursday nights. And I think given the amount of ribbon I'm giving you, remember that stack, and the techniques we're going to do with these, I think that we're going to need a little more time than I have on a Thursday night. So this is probably going to come up 3 weeks out on Saturday. But let me show you a little bit about what I was playing with. That's different that we will be doing. This, and I hope you can see it. I don't know that you can, Let me see if I can get a hold of this in a way that allows you to see it. Maybe just laying it on the table, but that's not close enough. See you later, Mary R. See you on the reruns. This bow here is done with really fine 1/8" Offray ribbon.
Right up to the crack of the table. This camera should pick it up.
Yeah. That would be easier if I didn't cut ribbon all night. This is done with really fine Offray 1/8" ribbon. And I did it in 2 layers, smaller layer and larger layer, using the MIDI and mini bow makers. I'm going to show you how to do it with the combined bow makers, and I'm going to show you how to do it on one. This one, you can't really see the difference in these. Well, it's going to be way easier when you're seeing it for yourself. But this one is another example of a bow that I made using 2 different ribbons. You really can't tell the difference in this camera shot, I'm sure, but I actually used baker's twine in green and in brown, and it's 2 different ribbons. This one, let's see what else I've got here. This one is really busy looking, but I wanted to see if I could actually use the mini and MIDI together using 3 different ribbons. And I did. And it's actually quite striking. Unless I was using this as probably the focal on my card, I don't know that I would use this technique very often. But this one is 2 different ribbons. This one's actually, I think, very striking. I used a thinner and a wider satin ribbon. So using multiple ribbons at the same time. Yes, there is, Tharma, there is a kit that's going with this. Don't do the, don't buy the bow maker separately if you haven't already, because the combined cost of the bow maker with the kit will be less than than the ribbon kit by itself or the bow maker by itself. So hang on. If you haven't bought it yet, hang on. And yes, we are literally going to use, they clip together, Patrice. They clip together. And oh, there it is. There's a little clip that holds these 2 together like this. So anyway, it's going to be fun. It's just something different. Hold back a bit. What is it?
The pink bow.
The pink bow? You want to see that on the big camera? How's that?
Good.
So it will be another tool in your bow making arsenal. And since one of the things I think that really distinguishes our cards from the typical cards out there is our bow making. And this is not a must-have, but it's a real nice to have. There's a couple things that are going to be different than your red comb. In your red comb, you have this many little tines in the center, and then you're going out on these larger pegs, which is cool because it gives you lots of flexibility in being able to use thicker ribbons and more different materials. You give that up with this, but what you gain with this is the ability to be able to do more delicate things because the tines are smaller. You can't use the big bulky materials, but because the tines are smaller, you can do some different things than we do with this. So I actually think both of these have their place. It's up to you guys. I'm not in the business of selling things just to sell them, but I do think there are some advantages to having both of them. So your thoughts are good, whichever way you want to go. But I will, Brittany will be here on Thursday, and we will work on trying to get those bowmaker kits out there and ready. But the bow making classes are always very popular, and the kits, I'm making a lot of them, but I will say our kits usually don't last real long. So if you're interested, get in and get that. So anyway, I think that's it. Are there going to be bow making? Any questions? Comments, pearls of wisdom?
Yeah, he's got a 6-pack now from laughing so much. Love it.
So now I'm going to have 3 bowmakers. If they come out with more, they will be competition with my stamp thingies. Easier to hold on to. Okay. And if there's no other questions, comments, we will say good night, Gracie. See you Thursday for Margie's class in embroidery on paper. I'll get a newsletter out to you tomorrow.
You too.